event, and it's great that I'll be moderating and meeting all these amazing people right now. The topic is about producing music for the international audience, and we have a lot of amazing people here in the house. And uh, to talk about myself, I started music back when it was cassettes. Then I saw it become CDs, MP3s, now to streaming. So I've been around quite a while, seen the music change a lot, and so it's kind of nice that I'll be talking to all these talented people and see how everything from the pandemic, how it really affected the business and where we're gonna go from here, and just get a perspective from all these really talented people that's coming from different ends of the spectrum. I'll start with Micha. You there,
Yeah, hi. Sorry, I just
Micha?
muted myself
Yes.
just in case you can all hear my daughter. How are you?
How old is she?
She's 2 years
Good.
old.
How old is your daughter?
She's 2 years old. She loves music. So, and if she, as soon as she hears some type of beat, that's it. She's dancing. It's great to see.
So, tell us about that deck behind you that you said you'd made baby proof.
Oh yeah, so this CDJ, we've had to put some paper and sellotape just in case she tries to slot some crayons or anything inside. So it's part of our baby proofing because she likes to kind of get involved when we're producing or when we're DJing. She'll come and press buttons and try and make little beats here and there. So it's nice to get her involved at such a young age.
Nice. Now, tell us about what's it like working in the UK.
Well, I worked in the UK throughout my studies at university. I didn't really study. I tended to take a lot of contractual work. So instead of going to university, I was off in London and just getting my experience in the industry, really. One of my good friends, Sean, said, try and get as much experience in the industry in different aspects, so then when you graduate, you'll know what you really want to edge towards. So I ended up just gravitating more towards marketing and branding and promotions during university. So I did some work at Columbia Records as a marketing assistant and club promotions and marketing for like the Ministry of Sound and Fabric. So as you can see, they're like your key clubs in London for electronic dance music, and especially house and techno. And I guess there's the drum and bass side of things, especially at Fabric as well. And yeah, before I came over to Asia, I was a music licensing assistant for PRS for Music. So I did a lot of the licensing for physical products, and I also dealt with sync. So that was my experience working in the industry in the UK, and
And,
I just shipped myself off to Asia.
oh, nice. So what's the difference that you find between working in UK and working like in Asia, especially here in the Philippines?
Well, my main roles here in the Philippines have, especially with electronic dance music and house and techno in particular, I guess doing events back home and doing events back here, the audience is a lot smaller. It's quite a tight knit community. We all know each other, and
Oh,
because we do know all each other, there is support there among us. There's not a high competition like there is back home. So if you go back to Manchester and London, like acid house was, it's, I guess electronic dance music is still considered as a Western import here in Asia. So the grassroots will always be Western, but the influence is still high. Everyone still wants to produce or to play that type of music. So I think it's mainly the market is a lot smaller and there's less competition here in the Philippines.
Now tell us about Sayaw Records.
So yeah, Sayar Records is mine and my husband's next little projects that we've got going on. It was kind of started a few years ago, but as time progressed, it was a bit delayed. So it's a non-commercial electronic music label, firstly focusing on electronic producers residing here in the Philippines, so not just Filipino. For example, myself, I'm not Filipino, so but I class myself as a local. I hope I can contribute to the local scene here as a foreigner. So we're just making a label to broadcast electronic music that's from the Philippines and marketed it worldwide. So we're also planning a lot of collaborations with local artists and electronic music producers. So local artists could be, for example, Taken by Cars, and we're hoping Up Dharma Down, which is, we've been chatting to Toti recently on some projects, and we've got some collaborations also with the Hyphen Music guys. So
Nice.
we've got a lot in the pipeline in the next year. So we'll be launching the label officially next month, so you'll hear more about it in coming days, I guess. But we'll be launching the label with a various artist compilation, so it'll be a 15-track various artist compilation with quite a broad aspect of electronic music, but predominantly in the underground electronic house and techno vibe. So yeah.
Nice. Now I want to get to talk to all of you guys because you're all amazing people. Now I want to talk to Vince next. Now, as a Filipino American producer, can you tell us what you think the difference between music making in the U.S. and in the Philippines is?
To be honest, I think the biggest difference now is just the language. I mean, pop culture and music through the years has managed to become, cross border. It's been able to kind of just reach every corner of the earth. That the degree of separation of musicians and the music they make is a lot smaller. So we can all easily relate to the melody, the sound, the kick, the drum, all of that. And K-pop's the biggest example. It's pop music that the whole world listens to, but it's in Korean. But you have people all over the world who aren't even Korean just gravitating towards that culture, gravitating towards music, and they love it. And I think now that's just the biggest difference, because at the end of the day, as long as you make a great song, it'll resonate with the person that's listening, no matter what language.
That's cool. But now you're one of those dudes that got to work with probably the biggest group right now on the planet. So tell us about that.
It was crazy, man. It's definitely been a long time coming. Me and my boy August, we wrote this song for BTS, this time last year. And so we were in New York, just, back and forth, just doing ideas. And then, we just kind of played the waiting game. We sent it off to the label. We didn't really hear anything for a couple months. And then out of nowhere, I was in Manila driving around, coming back home in January. And I just get a message from somebody on the DM on Instagram, was like, hey, this song is incredible. And like, I didn't really like put it together. I was like, what you talking about? Like, what song? And then I just started getting more messages of people that love this song. And I realized like, yo, like we just landed a BTS song. Like just one of the biggest cuts of my life at the moment, and it's just.
How did that feel? How did that feel at that moment?
I still don't believe it. It's an incredible feeling. It's a clear indication that you put the work in, like you're going to get results. But, at the end of the day, as appreciative I am as an opportunity, we got to keep the head down and keep on working.
Now, what do you think I'm kind of jumping here, but what do you think it's going to take for Filipinos to get to that level? Like K-pop is just on another level. And I was asked by even like politicians, that they wanted to catch up to that kind of level. Like it's a different kind of thing that you guys don't know about. It's like
Yeah.
there's so much like training to get to a K-pop like level. So
Yeah.
tell us what you think about that.
I just think, in my opinion, you just keep on making music. Like use the influences of Western music and Korean music and the UK. You just really just use inspiration of music in general to kind of fuel that and build your own catalog and build your own type of song or sound. I think what the Philippines needs is like a group or a collective of collaborative people or like a support system that could help move the needle and create that culture that we're all kind of looking for. Case in point, aside from K-pop, like 88 Rising,
Nice.
super talented Southeast Asian
Yeah,
kids
exactly.
have managed to really like become
Yeah,
global, but still represent their Southeast Asian roots. And like, the talent's there in the Philippines, man. The talent's there. Like the music is there. Like I don't see why not. I don't see why we don't deserve the same thing. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like you just
yeah.
need a collective. You just need that group to just kind of bend a little rules, kind of break a little barriers, and kind of just, hey, like we're here. Like let's try to keep it moving and get it popping.
Yeah, speaking of like what you're saying, actually it's a good segue to bring in Neil. Neil, unmute your mic, bro.
Yo, what's up, man?
Yo, what's up, man? You studied in LA and you worked with a lot of big artists there, and now you're bringing that with Bowel Clan, a collective really, really talented, amazing rappers and producers and even video directors and stuff. So tell us about what's it like, you know, being the head honcho of your studio and bringing all that knowledge from LA to the Philippines.
Honestly, man, like the way we work in Bawaklam is pretty much equal. So like we all just contribute. Like how do I describe it? Uh, I wouldn't really consider myself the head honcho. That's the best way I could put it. But in
No.
terms of what I brought back from LA, I think I just brought back like the work ethic in terms of like I feel like in Philippines people are more like relaxed about things compared to in LA. It's like when I was out there for school, like we were just working almost every single day, and that's kind of like what I brought back to my crew out here. They just kind of pushing all our music harder. But in terms of like the creating aspect and everything, it's like we're all equal. Everyone contributes their own ideas equally.
Yeah, our Migs, one of your directors, actually talked about how you guys work. And it's actually like that work ethics that you're talking about is amazing because all you guys do is push each other farther and farther, and you're
Yeah.
all really like talented collective already. What does it take to become a Bawal Clan member, though, bro? Like, what does somebody
Oh
have
yeah,
to
like
do?
people always ask me that, and like honestly, man, everyone in Bao Clan are my day ones. Like before I even went to the States to study music, I was already working and hanging out with them. Like I knew Pope since 2009. I knew Alex and like Akio since I was like 16 years old. So it's all just kind of just natural for
Mm.
us to end up like being in the crew together. And that's why like I don't really see myself as a head honcho because I feel like we're all equal. I never looked at it that way.
Yeah, and actually, you guys really all bring something to the picnic. So it's really
Yeah,
amazing to watch Bawa Clan. It's just like you guys keep
yeah,
putting out something that's just to the next level, to the next level. Now, tell us about you're in a new studio now.
yeah. We moved recently, like just this past month actually. We just finished setting up that last weekend.
Ah,
Um,
nice, nice.
yeah, we relocated
Yeah.
to from Mandaluyong to the Rockwell area.
Mm,
Um, yeah,
nice. Yeah, I'll get back to you because I'm gonna ask everybody some questions, but I want to get to Edu first. Bro, unmute your mic. How you doing?
How you doing, man?
Where you at right now?
No, right now in Madrid, in my studio.
Oh, you're in Madrid.
Yeah, we are
Love that
Madrid based.
accent, dude.
What?
Yeah, love that accent.
Yeah, sorry. Maybe
Yeah.
when someone of you speak too fast, sometimes I lose connection. By with the whole sentence, I understand what you're saying. But apologize if I say some phrase or some verb maybe wrong. Apologize me for my English,
Hmm.
but I try my best. So
You
I
sound
hear
good. You're
I
sounding good,
travel
bro.
a lot. I travel a lot, but I mostly of the time when I'm producing, I'm working here in Madrid, in Europe.
So tell us, you're traveling a lot, and you visit a lot of countries. Can you tell us much about, the how it's like to produce in Spain versus other parts of, the places you've been to?
Uh,
Like, what's it like Madrid compared to all the other places you?
I think when I listen, what are you saying? You are. I mean, I think you're right in terms of in every place now, mainstream or front row is mostly the same with a little touches, but it's so global right now. But I feel like the real underground scene is quite different in each country, and in my opinion, what is right now in the underground scene is going to be maybe 1 year or 2 years later on the mainstream stuff. So it makes a huge difference. I mean, if you go to UK or to London, there is a big about, I don't know, from UK drill or whatever, a lot of coming from the bass scene on drum and bass focus stuff, and it makes a huge difference in the mainstream music coming from UK. Quite different from the mainstream music maybe coming from US or for different countries. When they get to the mainstream stuff, of course, they make so similar because there are a lot of people from different countries involved in the mixing, in the writing. But when you find producing in the a little step below in the underground scene, it's quite different. I love it because you can hear a song and more or less focus on where it's coming from, or at least what are the influence of this artist. So I think this is the big difference where you're traveling, not in the mainstream stuff, like two steps below.
Nice. Now, this question goes out to everyone, so you can all unmute your mic and stuff. With this pandemic, do you think the music has progressed or regressed?
For me,
Um,
Yeah,
that's
for
tough
everyone.
question.
This goes out for
You go
everyone.
first.
Like, with this pandemic, did you guys get a lot more done, or did you guys like? No,
Who
not
wants to go first?
hyped about doing
At the
anything.
start of the pandemic, I really cracked down and got a lot of production done. Which was, I don't know, I was just seemed to be very, very focused, and I got a lot of EPs done, and then I obviously got back to my idea of getting Sayao done, and I got the basis of the record label done and so on. And I've been successful and been able to be signed on quite a few Western record labels. I've got an EP next month on Piston Recordings, which I'm really, really happy about. It's perfect for like my sound, deep house, minimal, and so on. So I'm really thankful for it. But 7 months in Manila has taken it's really taken its time to just, it's kind of drilled me down a bit. At the moment, I'm completely on a creative block. I'm not even going to try to start producing anything because I just get stuck in a loop. And when I get stuck in that loop, then I know that it's not worth it. I'm not going to go back to it. So at the moment, I'm taking time to just, I guess, redecorate. This orange paint is brand new. And I've been painting everything, exercising again, and I think the tables have turned more now. My husband Ali is now producing, and I'm just like decorating the apartment instead of being musically creative. But I also think I don't think there's been a regression or progression. I think it completely depends on the person. I guess if you look at Richie Horton, he's gone back to his Plastic Man age now, and he's doing a big collaboration with Prada. So you're seeing brand collaborations now happening and being created. But then you're also seeing a lot of big artists that just refuse to make music because they can't create that music. Music's made for a dance floor, right? We've got no dance floor right now. So I know there's a lot of people out there struggling with creativity. So I don't think it's a bad or good thing to be try and criticize if you are in a creative block. I think the time will come when it's right. I think the positive energy will come to the person, and that the time will be right to get that music out then. So that's my view anyway. I don't know about you guys.
For me, I feel like the pandemic kind of forced people to be more creative because of like the situation. They had to adapt to everything. So I feel like it's bringing out more creativity with everyone right now. But at the same time, since we're all at home, I won't lie, like it's kind of hard to be focused sometimes. Like the first month or two, I was pretty productive. Like I was able to make a new album with one of my artists in Power Clan.
Nice.
Mixed a lot of songs for people. Nice. And then I took like a 2-month break where I was just on Netflix all day.
Yeah.
So like it's a mix of both, but I do feel like it's making people more creative. It's a crazy time right now.
Yeah,
how would you, Vince? How was it? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, I do think there's going to be some new genres. The genre that we know of the dance floor back in February, March, come March next year, that music's going to be completely different. You're not going to be... Yeah. So I know there's a lot of people saying all the tracks that you've bought throughout this pandemic, are you going to keep those tracks and be playing them again next year? Is that music going to get to the dance floor? I want to. There's some tracks that I have really love in the past 7 months that I've played and stuff that I will definitely take to the dance floor, but at the same time I don't know how that's going to transcend to the rest of the world. So it's going to be interesting anyway to see the change of genre that comes in next.
Yeah, how about you, Vince? How was it for you, this pandemic? You get creative or?
Yeah, you know what? I definitely got creative. I was stuck in Manila too for like 7 months. You know, during that time, obviously, you know, it was a big adjustment for all of us. But you know, you take that time, you try to make the most of it. You know, in the time that we're supposed to be inside, it was a perfect opportunity to really just buckle down and like, you know, tackle things, whether it be music or things outside of what you do, just to kind of spend more time with it, right? And you know, during the pandemic, I was super productive. You know, I got a chance to write with Moose and Inigo and Sam for the song that we just did called "Rise" on Targier. So I was able to do that while in the Philippines and making use of that time. But it's definitely allowed me to be more productive. And the time is now, really, to kind of create that new sound, to create that new music, because time is a luxury, but we kind of have that right now to just make content and just get it out there.
How about you, Edu? What was it, how did it like? Edu,
I always say, like,
frozen. It's time for.
You are like, I lost connection for a time. Okay.
And I can't hear anyone.
Okay. I always say, like, I'm training for
Can you guys
this.
hear me? Oh, there.
Yeah. Do you hear me?
Oh, there.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
I can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear.
Okay, but about that, I think all producers, we were training for this all our lives because we are always accustomed to stay in the studio for hours or for days and training. And I agree with Mica. Like from the first 2 months, I was completely like focused on. I don't know. I feel like someone give me 2 months of time for free to do a lot of things. Like I never has time to see tutorials, try new scenes that maybe I have, and I don't play too much with them. So for me, it was like, wow, I have 2 months to do whatever I want, and for me it was like kind of great. Sorry for that sentence, but after that, I start like the creative block or something like that. But I think when you make electronic music more focused on the dance floor, it's hard because you don't have that vibe, that's feedback from the people dancing. You can try your tracks or whatever. So I think it's going to make a little turn in terms of maybe I'm going to be more, I don't know, sensitive or connected with other things, not only pumping or make the people dance. And I like that side of the artist thing in the music, not only do big hits and make like the thing explode, exploring other faces, trying to be more creative in other ways. I think this is positive because I found all the people needs music when the things go wrong, and this is like the point. We are sometimes myself. I lost the focus on this, and you are with the charts and with all the industry, and you get into that mood, and it's hard to go out. And now I find I'm making art. I'm making something for human beings. So for me, this is a kind of reminder that
Oops.
take care, go for that side. Wow, my thing is doing strange things. Okay, I lost every one of you. You see me?
Yeah, we see you.
Yes.
There's a
Okay.
ghost behind
Oh,
you.
it did
There's a
flicker.
ghost behind you. There's a ghost.
But it's the same for you because I start like all the screen moving and I didn't see you. Okay, I don't know what happens. Maybe my Western connection or my. Okay, so
Yours is probably the best internet amongst us all here.
okay. Well, that's it. Wow. If you see my screen, it's crazy right now. It's popping.
I
Okay.
think you're getting hacked, bro. I think you're getting hacked.
Is there a hacker in our audience?
Someone in the audience don't like what I said. Okay. So that's my point.
Yeah.
Now, the next question. This one goes to everyone too. What do you think Philippines has to do to achieve a global sound? If you think we even need it.
What global sound?
I personally think we don't need to
No.
Like
just keep being us.
sort of like BTS, and yeah.
Because
So I
like
don't know. Like it's a question that I have to ask, and
Yeah.
I want to just throw it out there
Yeah.
because I want to know kind of what you guys' answer on it too.
I guess
Like,
it's more collaborations, right?
yeah,
Yeah, it's just,
collaborators for me too. I don't think we need to change our sound. But like I feel like that's what makes us authentic. That's what makes us Filipinos. Like our music, just like how K-pop has K-pop and everything else. And for us to break out of Philippines, I think it's just collaborations. Like it's
To
easy
me-
now these days.
Yeah, to me,
Yeah,
music's
because
just an
I would just
international language. So sorry. I guess music's just
no,
an
go ahead, go
international
ahead.
language, and I guess with K-pop, it's pop music, but it's got Korean lyrics. So it's just with that, it's just a move to that people aren't that bothered anymore that they're listening to English lyrics. They're listening, actually enjoying the musical elements of the tracks and not just listening to the melody and the rhythm of lyrics anymore. Like, I don't understand Korean, and I'm sure most people that in the West don't understand Korean at all, but they're enjoying the musical elements of the music finally. So I think that is finally transcending across the globe, really. That's my view anyway.
I
I
agree.
agree with that though.
Because there's a local artist. I want to mention him anyway. I don't know whether he's watching, and I really support him. A guy called Lona. He's had a lot of support media wise recently, and he one of the interviews he had was creating this genre of Tagalog house. Well, it's house music. It's UK garage vibe beats and everything, but all that is different is that is actually recorded himself speaking Tagalog lyrics. Now, there's a lot of new people coming through trying to create these new genres. You look at Beatport now, and obviously the genres are split into all sorts of kind of descriptions. So I think what's happening with electronic music as well is people are starting to use their own languages and not just English sampled British or American samples in their tracks. So I think that's what we're seeing also.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, just like I touched on a little earlier, I think it just takes a collaborative effort and really just a collective group of people to really just try to move that needle, whether it be coming up with a new sound or just really just making a hit. You know, just whatever it is, just keep on making that music and just build a support system with one another. You know, just because your group raps and I write pop music doesn't mean I can't support you, and vice versa. Like we're we're looking for the same goal. We're trying to achieve the same goal. You know what I'm saying? And I think I think most people would say that like OPM, right, is the sound of the Philippines. Um, and yeah, it's from what I've heard and what people have told me. You know, it's like beautiful, powerful, like soulful ballads. But I don't think like the older generation gives a newer generation kind of the chance to really just push the boundaries of what OPM can be. Because I don't believe it's just ballads. You know what I'm saying? I believe it's a dance record. I believe it's a house record. I believe it's an acoustic song. I believe it's a rap record. I believe it's a hip hop record. I think the soul and the love of a Filipino contributing to music in general and expressing their own vision of what OPM is what I think what OPM is. Like we have to be allowed to push that boundary. You know, that's how people progress and that's how people get noticed. Because like people just look at you and be like, yo, like they're doing something over there. I don't really get it, but they're doing it. So let me point my eyes this way. And you know, I think that's just what it takes.
Yeah, I actually witnessed a good collaboration because I worked with Moro Beats with DJ Med Messiah, and then he collaborated with Joko and Illmind, and then they did a music video, and it was like with Jabberwockies, and so a lot of people got involved, and it just got pushed, so it got seen by a lot more people, and yeah, it was a great collaboration, and he maintained the that sound, the Filipino sound too, with the loops he's used in records and stuff, elements. So it was a nice collaboration. Uh, Edu, you there, bro?
Hi, did you see me? Because I don't see anyone now, but I listen to you.
You're
We
new.
can see you.
Oh, we can see you.
Okay.
Uh, have, have you worked much in the Philippines, bro?
No, not at all. I meet in Bime is a kind of festival for the industry here. Mike Constantine, I don't know if you know him. I think he's
Oh yeah, yes,
in the Sonik Philippines, and I met him
yeah,
like
he's the man.
yeah, I think 2 years ago. But I've never been Philippines indeed. But since then, I always check about your scene, but I mostly don't know nothing about what is happening real in the kitchen there. So yeah, I hope someday I can travel to Philippines and produce or work some stuff with people from there. But I completely don't know nothing about your music or your local scene. At least I think music is so global. I don't know. I think dance music seems not to be quite different from Europe, Berlin, or London or Madrid. But I don't know. I want to learn. So you can teach me about what is really hype there.
Nice. Well, this platform, that's why I love this Sonic platform that we're all in, because I wouldn't have never met you guys, and I feel really privileged. Only know Neil.
Me too.
Neil, actually, Neil, unmute yourself. Neil,
Oh,
Neil,
sorry.
yo,
Hey.
yeah. So I was traveling doing my documentary with Migs, and all we were pumping was Bawal Clan stuff. Now, sonically, everything sounded like so dope in the car. Now,
Thank you, man.
you collaborate. Do you collaborate with people outside of the country?
um, we did a few songs with other people like outside the country. Like recently, we actually worked with someone. Where's he from again, Pope? Gap's from somewhere in like Amsterdam, right? Like Netherlands. His name's Dookie. Yeah, we collabed with someone from Netherlands recently too. Yeah.
Hmm. Do you have to make everything sonically balanced with each different country when you're doing that? Because they
I
all
kind of
have
just
different
like
recording.
I kind of just I mix a lot. I mix all our tracks actually, even if it's a collab. I mix it too. So
Okay.
I kind of just make it sound the way I like it, but I get feedback from everyone else too. Like yeah.
Okay. Now, this last question here for everyone too. I don't know if Eddie will know this the answer, but what do you think Philippine sound is, or is there even one?
What's the question?
What do you think the Philippine sound is, or is there even one? Is there a Philippine
Mm,
sound?
that's I feel like
Is there
there
one?
is, but I feel like there is, but we're also influenced by a lot of different cultures. Because
Yeah,
you know how
true.
we got, but you know how we got
Yeah.
colonized so many times. I feel like that affected like our music too. But because of that, the fact that we were colonized so many times, we were able to make a unique sound with it too. You get what I mean? And like
Yeah, and
I know
we really
I read up in
yeah.
like history too that we actually influenced some of the music in the states.
Hmm,
Like I think
nice.
it was jazz actually. Like we're part of that culture. Like
Well, yeah,
my
Filipinos
do you
are
remember Jed from People's Future?
yes,
They actually studied that in music school. They mentioned that history of Filipino music.
nice. Something I'd like to look into more, but that's cool. So, what's it? What's the last question for everyone? What are you guys gonna be up to next? Like, we don't know when this thing's gonna end, what's gonna happen, but what are you guys up to? What are
Who
we,
wants to
what's
go
what's there to look
first?
forward to?
I could go first. We just
Yeah.
keep our heads down, man. We just keep on working. I just did a record called Rise with Targier Records. Moose, Inigo Pascual, Sam Conception, Eric Bellinger, the Abi from Malaysia. And me and Moose got another one coming out pretty soon. Um, I'm working with a kid from Singapore named Toby Maddox, super dope kid. So be on the lookout for that. But other than that, like we just making records over here.
Nice.
Um, I
Who's
guess I
next?
could go next too. Then we've been working a lot on new music actually for the whole of lockdown. So look forward to new Bao Clan music from each solo artist as well as Bao Clan the group and new merch. Making new merch should be out within the next few weeks.
Yeah, merch really works at this time, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's actually like so we're not getting gigs, so that's the next best thing. Like we actually have a lot of merch coming out. I'm excited about. We have a toy. We have a collab with a toy.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. How about you, Micha? What you gonna be up to?
It's just, I guess. Well, actually, my first goal is getting fit and healthy. I've eaten far too much in the
Hmm.
past couple of months. Sat just trying to make music and stuff. But yeah, I think the next couple of months, it's all my productions is all going to be aimed for releases for 2021 now. So I'm setting myself some goals with certain record labels that have reached out to me. I don't really want to say much because I like to surprise people. So yeah, I think it's just getting my head down and getting some of my productions exactly how I want it to be. I've not quite got certain sounds where because I've really started to try to sound design. So it's just that, and I've been working with local artists because I do I'm a content creator for a company called Landa, which is based over, it's a Canadian company, but they've got an office in Berlin. So that's also something I'm working on locally here, not just for myself, but I'm obviously looking at musicians. I've been recording Manila Symphony Orchestra here. I've had the bassist Alan O'Malley do some recordings for me. So we've got quite a few projects on to get work for local artists here. There's the music industry's no one's performing, so obviously income can be scarce for a lot of people. So I've got that. I'm just waiting for all the budgets to come in, so then I can go right, go, get recording, guys. And then we've got loads of samples there for the company, and just that's it really. They're my main two things. Sorry, I think you might have heard my daughter then. So yeah, just music. It's all about music. I think if I stop, then that's game over for me. I've not done anything other than music in my whole life. I don't know really any. I know skills are transferable. You look at the UK government and they're trying to transfer your musical art skills over to these crappy jobs. I nearly swore then. I think we have to keep our positive. We have to keep it going and keep the scene alive and keep our passions going for music. Really, it's if we don't do it, then there's no inspiration for the ones below us to keep their passion burning and so on. So I think it's a chain of events for everyone. And Ed.
We have about 10 minutes left. Hang on, Ed. So yeah, Ed, I'm gonna ask you, but after that, we have about 10 minutes left, and there's a lot of people that has some questions. You can kind of see it on the chat on the side. Yeah. But Ed, what are you gonna? Lastly, what's your plans?
I have.
Then we'll start answering some of these questions.
Yeah, okay, I'm going fast. I'm going to release an album I have done in the pandemic, and I'm doing a lot of stuff with contemporary dance and electronic music, and I always perform live. And I don't know, my last gig was last year or 6 months ago. So I need to perform. I always traveling, playing live scenes and stuff. I'm focused on the album, a couple of singles, videos, and perform. Mica, I so fan of London. so
I really miss London. I was there in December, and it was just like a dream to be back amongst the electronic scene again.
Yeah, I miss London too. You guys, here's the question from the audience now. What do you think about Filipinos tapping to other languages to reach out to an international audience?
Yeah, they need to like strip.
Did you guys get that?
Yeah, I don't think they need to. I think you can like Bawal Clan, you're rapping for Tagalog and stuff. You don't really need to be rapping in the English language anymore.
We actually did it's funny how you said that, because we actually did a collab with a Japanese artist recently where we rapped in Tagalog, and he enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think the language is not a problem anymore. I think people are actually really in tune to the musical elements of everyone's tracks, and that's why we are seeing it like be so much broader from the east to the west. So yeah, that's my view.
That's why like K-pop, when you when you listen to K-pop, you hear a lot of Western things, but sung in Korean, and the hooks and stuff. It's cleverly done a lot of the times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What do you think, Vince?
We claimed
Yeah,
land.
I mean,
Like
I'm all for collaborative efforts. I'm all for collaborative things.
all building up.
But also at the same time, why wouldn't photography be your first option to write a record? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're coming to Philippines, why not do that? Like you're you're kind of putting yourself in a box by kind of reaching out to what you already have in front of you to use at your disposal. You know. But again, yeah, I'm collaborating at the same time. Like, why not put you away? A great song is a great song, no matter what language.
Yeah. Ed, yeah.